Coach Harbaugh. Taylor Lewan joins us, a Michigan man. He said he'd be a great fit for that team, so we'll talk about that. Oh my gosh, we're having a dance party in studio today, apparently. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on the show. Huge inspiration, huge game, huge chance to win a Super Bowl. He'll tell you what it means to him to not be active, to not get that jersey after practicing all week leading up to that Super Bowl last year. He got a championship, but this one would mean so much more. Him and Pacheco, besties, so we got to talk about that with him as well. And, of course, all of his work helping MDA and his sister, Maddie. So let's talk to him. We've got a big show. Darius Butler here. He's going to get you set, especially those of you who like to dabble over at FanDuel Sportsbook. Big moment here. We got some big news last night with this Harbaugh stuff. Reports are that the Chargers are saying hello to him as their head coach. And we'll get into this with Taylor Lewan in just a bit, but I just want to say this. A lot of negative things floating around about the Chargers organization. A lot. I sort of, in my talks with Hamilton, I said it's kind of a lazy narrative. It's like when people want to say, like, their offensive line sucks. What about their offensive line actually sucks? Do you know what you're like? It's just like a lazy, nobody actually does the work. Now, it is true and well documented that year after year, the Chargers have not gotten this right as far as wanting to take out their pocketbook. It's sort of something that's haunted them, that people like to talk about, and their willingness to pay for what it would cost to land a big fish, like a Sean Payton, like something like that. But every organization can be looked at that way until they're not. Look no further than, the Bengals, also mom and pop-ish at one point. Do they care about the fans, all these? And what does it take? Just a quarterback, a little vibe check, a little culture change, Elizabeth Blackburn and company to turn everything around. And that's all the Chargers needed, was just the one guy, and they got it. They should put all of that to, but you can no longer talk about that anymore. People who want to criticize the Chargers fans, now with this AFC West that's looking absolutely crazy, they land the most coveted coaching candidate. I'm going to say Belichick still was, but because I will say we know what Belichick is. This one's a little bit of a wild card, but I'm excited to see it. Fresh off a national championship, he averaged 11 wins per season over his 4 years with the Niners, so there was some consistency there. I love this for the franchise. And my helmet over here, which somehow, listen, I don't have anything to do with what goes on back here, but sometimes it's different every day and it's wobbly and there's like gremlins in the studio that decide to like F with my stuff. So this is for you, Herbert, Coach Harbaugh. There was a collection of fables that I would always have to read in grammar school, and one of them was called, let's move this one over. One of them was called The Boy and the Nettles, and it was about a kid who got stung by this thing called a nettle. It was like a weed, and if you graze it delicately, like if you walk by on a cute little hike and saunter around, it will sting the shit out of you. But if you grab it really boldly, it can't hurt you. So the moral of that story was do boldly what you do at all. And that sort of stuck with me really my whole life, and that's what the Chargers are doing here. They sort of would graze by the weeds and get pricked by them year after year after year, and now they went and they grabbed that thing, and they've got their guy, and hopefully he can do his thing with one of the most talented quarterbacks the league has in Justin Herbert. So very excited. How does that look back there? Yeah, that looks pretty good. None of them are in the dance this year, but I still have lots of love for them. Okay, let's get to some things we have to talk about, because we got to talk about championship weekend. Taylor Lewan is here, guys. I'm going to put my earrings in right now. Darius Butler is here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be joining the show. I could not be a bigger fan of him. The spreads are unchanged. The money lines, though, the little Ravens told me that they've shifted a little. Ravens opened around minus 190. They're now minus 200. Niners were minus 330. They're now minus 335. Kind of little, but, maybe that's something to do with the positive signs we're seeing with the trending directions of Marlon Humphrey, Deebo, respectively. Deebo at practice yesterday, so who knows? We'll see if the spreads do shift a little more drastically at some point, but a slight indication that the favorites are getting just a little bit more favored as the week goes on. And by the way, on the AFC side of things, lots of, we had Marcus Williams say, you got to come in here and play us. Roquan saying stuff. We've got lots of things flying back and forth for bulletin board material, and so I'm very, very excited. We did get to hear from both quarterbacks. It's like one of the joys of championship weekend. Everybody gets in front of a microphone, and both Mahomes and Lamar were asked about squaring off, and this will be number 5 for both of them in their careers, and let's see what they had to say.
It's challenging. The way he's able to just be a competitor and score the football, obviously, and then their entire team. I mean, it's a tall task. You got to go out there and play your best football, and if you make any mistakes, it seems like the game's going to go the other way. So we've been able to play in a couple games, not in a few years now, but I've admired watching him from afar and know that it's going to be a great challenge for us every time we go up against him.
I don't like competing against him at all. But, yeah, I mean, he's a great quarterback. Definitely a Hall of Famer. It's not even it's a no-brainer. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. But it's just, I believe it's just two greats, up-and-coming greats just going toe-to-toe, you know, like a heavyweight fight, heavyweight matchup. That's just what I see.
It's hard to blame Lamar for feeling that way. He's 1-3 against Patrick in his career, an insane 57-16 against everyone else. But Patrick has not faced this Lamar. With these receiving options, with this depth, with this go out there and let it rip and be yourself play calling. It's going to be an incredible battle. This is the game I'm most excited about, and I've seen some great ones this year, but this is it. This one is it. We know both of the quarterbacks are going to bring it. They sort of cancel each other out when we're even talking about them. When we're thinking as a team here, what questions do we want to ask Darius Butler and Taylor Lewan? Like, I don't have many questions about these two. I know the answers that I'm going to get. There are some other factors that we sort of should look at that might determine how this thing shakes out. And for the Ravens, we talk a lot about the defense, the receiving upgrades Lamar has gotten, but I do want to talk a little bit about the RB room for a second here. We saw last weekend that if the KC defense has one vulnerability, it is against the run. They gave up a $182 on the ground at Buffalo. And even with the injuries to J.K. Dobbins, Keaton Mitchell, this sort of lack of hardware, unheralded backfield, they found a way to keep it going. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make a huge difference here. There's Justice Hill. John Harbaugh called him a difference maker for this offense because of how well-rounded he is. And, you know, he saw him tear through the Texans defense for 77 yards last Saturday. It's amazing. Then there's Gus Edwards. Gus the Bus, battering ram at the goal line. One score away from tying Jamal Lewis for the most rushing touchdowns we've seen from a Raven in a single season. Then, of course, there's our boy Dale Cook. Played his first game as a Raven last week, and no big deal, just signs up, shows up, and showed us that, I don't know, got some bursts in his legs I see here. Now, I don't know who it's going to be. Pick your poison here. Pick an RB, any RB, because it's been something of a mystery all week because of the depth that the group actually has and how well-rounded they are. I can promise you there's going to be a few make-or-break situations for those running backs I just talked about that will determine the outcome of the game. On KC's side, it's Chris Jones. Chris Jones, who said, you know, I don't know if we have the thing he said about Lamar, but I love this. I actually don't even know if it's real, but they're chippy. I like what's going on here. Chris Jones is obviously the key to stopping the run game, but he's also going to have a really tough task of keeping and containing Lamar Jackson. And the pressure that he generates from the interior can be the game changer in this. We saw it when we talked to Deion Dawkins about this. The bullying of Dawkins into Josh Allen last week, forcing him to miss a potential game-winning throw. We saw it in the AFC Championship game last year. Hello, Bengals helmet. He destroyed the Bengals. Love and determination and everything they had going on the final drive. We've also seen it against Lamar in the past, guys. In Kansas City's 3 wins over Lamar and the Ravens, Chris Jones has racked up 3 sacks, including 2 strip sacks and 6 quarterback pressures. It's going to take an otherworldly performance from Hall of Fame talent to slow down what the Ravens have going on right now, and if anybody can pull it off, it is, in fact, this man. All right, reminder for everybody. Same game parlay, no sweat. That means if it doesn't hit, you still get your bonus bet cash back. Okay, so Rob's got Kelsey with 50+ receiving yards. I'm going with Lamar, 50+ rushing yards. Gronk's got Lamar passing touchdown. Love that. And I'm going to finish it up with our guy Pacheco with an anytime touchdown. If you want to ride on this one, go to FanDuel, download the Sportsbook app. If you don't want to, whatever, build your own in the Parlay Hub. They've got some weird, funky ideas for you, or you can just do whatever you want. It's FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. This is our parlay, plus 479. I like it. No sweat. Same game parlay. All right, Taylor Lewan coming up next. We got to talk to him about a lot of things, starting with Mr. Harbaugh getting the gig. Taylor, a special Thursday appearance on the show. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Darius Butler on the program as well. Is this was this tweeted about? Or no? How was this set up, Richard? Did we tweet about it? And when I don't see it, I didn't get to retweet it, so maybe we should do it another time of the show. I can't manage everything. But it wasn't like on anything? Circle back to who? Oh, this right here. But you'll text me on why that, I don't think it was. I would have seen it. I'm like obsessed with our timeline. Let's see. What are the numbers here? I think we skip it. Or just when it's like when it makes sense. And it's done to make sense. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do that. Okay. Taylor is on the show. If you guys have any questions for Taylor Lewan, hit us up. Yes, I am in heels, unfortunately. Okay, let's do this. Oh, Hammy, it's not real. Hammy, it's not real, huh? I was gonna say that's a wild. See, I'm glad you said that to me because I figured.
Yeah, he was really complimentary of Lamar, the Ravens offense. Yeah.
What was the quote? What was the quote? I'm trying to think what it was I saw.
I saw something like, if we make Lamar throw.
But there was something else. There was something else. There was a Chris Jones one, the Marcus Williams one. But that really wasn't. I mean, Marcus Williams.
Yeah, he was really complimentary of Lamar, the Ravens offense yesterday. He didn't give any bait.
There was somebody on the Roquan.
Too strong to be defeated. My strength is within.
Taylor Lewan, the big fella, in for the touchdown.
And today I will win.
Joining us now on a very special day. Usually he's with us on Mondays after a weekend. Pro Bowl left tackle playing for 9 seasons for the Tennessee Titans. Co-host of Bustin' with the Boys podcast, Taylor Lewan. We have a question right away from Trey Herring. How long did it take to grow that caterpillar below your nose, buddy?
This boy right here, I've had this little guy since 2016. Met my wife, had a pasty little beard going on, shaved it bare, and she said, "Don't do that." And so I had a mustache from then on. I'm going to be a mustache guy my entire life. Great question. Love the use of caterpillar.
Yes, love the use of caterpillar as well, and it's clearly the key to a successful marriage. All of these relationship coaches and Instagram, people, they don't know what they're talking. Grow a mustache, and that's the key to everlasting love. Let's talk about Jim Harbaugh and the fit. Speaking of chemistry, speaking of love and matchmaking, you said that if you were to take any job in the NFL, it should be with the Chargers. And then matchmaker, you made a match. What do you think?
So here's the deal. I think this is a huge win for the Chargers. I think this is a huge win for that entire franchise. They kind of been living in the shadow of the Rams ever since both teams went to LA. I'll say this now. Chargers, if they have patience and they're willing to let Harbaugh put his culture in there, 3 years they're winning the AFC West within 3 years. They have the talent, they have the capability, and now they have a coach in there who I think I saw something this morning that he has the winningest percentage of any active coach in the NFL right now.
Did you just say 3 years to win the West?
He'll win the West in 3 years, yes. I think Patrick Mahomes is still dangerous. We'll see it this weekend. But 3 years, they're going to win the AFC West.
I'm taking, that's not like exciting to me. Should I be? I'm trying to think if I'm a Chargers fan, am I like,
Yeah. happiness in life, Kay, is low expectations. And so I think
Okay.
if you say 3-year time, win the West, and then after that, we go after the Super Bowl, I think it could happen way sooner than that. But
Okay.
I'm not going to jump out of my heels right now.
Okay, the Chargers have always had a lot of talent. Of course, they've got Herbert, they've got all these guys. But you're saying they're going to win the West. I think that's great. Let's talk about Vrabel, okay? I know that news hit you hard. It was a bit shocking. Yesterday, the Titans, we're not going to talk about Vrabel. Sorry, we're going to talk about Brian Callahan. I need your thoughts on him getting the gig and getting to town. And I apologize for being just a crap host today. Go for it.
I think it's a good hire. It's a really good hire, and it bums me out because I do love Vrabel so much. But you saw what he did with the Bengals with Joe Burrow, the time that they were both there at the same time, and he kind of, Joe's an elite talent, but able to develop and make it better and give him opportunities throughout the field. I know he wasn't calling the plays all the time, but this guy, he's a stud. And I think that some of those guys, I believe is it T. Higgins who's going to be a free agent? I think he finds his way down to Nashville, Tennessee as well. And
Whoa!
There's times the times of the NFL in the last decade or so has been this pass heavy, open them up, kind of get more towards a spread type, not running so much. And Nashville's been behind. We've been in the Derrick Henry era where we run the ball 30 times a game type of thing, and now it's going to open up and it's going to be put points on the board for Tennessee. It's going to be exciting offense to see.
Don't pluck out of Cincinnati. I mean, and you know what? T's from Tennessee. You're going to take T. Higgins away from me. That makes sense.
You broke up a little.
I said T's from Tennessee. It makes sense to me. Callahan. What people might not know about. I won't. Yeah, people are saying she won't like your idea of stealing T. No, I do not. But this dude Callahan, he helped Stafford. He helped Derek Carr to over 4,000-yard seasons. Of course, obvious success with Burrow and Browning. Him and Will Levis. What kind of match is that?
I think tactically it's a great matchup. I think Amy did a great job throughout this process with Brandon, with a young quarterback who has shown bouts of talent. You saw in his first start against the Atlanta Falcons. He's a stud. He has the capability of being a stud. Now it's about protecting him and making sure you can give him pieces to get the ball out of his hands fast. And I think that's what Callahan's going to do. That's why he was brought in. When we go through the interview process, I guarantee that was like one of the main points for them was how do we get it so we have this young quarterback and develop him as much as possible. So this is going to be a match made in heaven. I think it's going to be a very successful time for the Tennessee Titans.
So last weekend you're watching these divisional round games. They call it the throwdown round. We all see Jason Kelce. Now we've all seen it too much. It's been everywhere. But he's wilding out in the box. Your first instinct was to challenge him, of course, to a chug-off at the Bussin' with the Boys Beer Olympics. What do I need to know?
So there was talk about the Kelce brothers coming to Beer Olympics last year, and it ended up not working out. Jason, being a man of the people, had a charity event that conflicted with the situation. I've been in text with him. We've been back and forth over the phone, and I believe the Kelce brothers will be at Beer Olympics this year. There's an elite chug by him. We both pride ourselves. I think offensive linemen in general pride themselves on the ability to guzzle beer as fast as possible, and it'll be like a UFC main title event type of thing that I'm really excited for.
Who has the advantage there? I don't know. I'm looking at both of those photos. Let's see. Who's got the advantage? You or Kelce?
If you play at the same time, I edge them out in this video, but just like football, any given chug, any given chug, it can happen. So the man, he's got some weight on me now. I've lost a couple of pounds. I might have to put a couple pounds on for this whole thing. But I'll train. I'm going to start training right after the Super Bowl. It's a big deal to me, Kay. This is one of the bigger events of my entire life, and that includes my entire football career.
And don't I know it? Here's my question. Do the shirts have to come off? Like
Tarps are always optional.
What would be, okay, because can the shirts stay on for a beer chugging situation? I don't quite understand the rules.
Yeah, for beer chug, I think the apparel is always an option for me. Honestly, if the sun's out and it's above 80 degrees, there's no reason to have a shirt on, especially when there's a pool nearby. Doesn't matter how good or how bad you look, just throw that thing off and throw a tan on it. Tone, tatted, or tan. Those are the three keys to look good. Yeah,
I believe it was negative 7 bajillion degrees in Buffalo, and I believe you're at a hockey game, and I've been to a hockey game, and I don't exactly think it's 80 and sunny up there, buddy.
No doubt. But I do. You gotta love Jason. Just Bills Mafia is one of the hardest fan bases besides Philadelphia to even be liked if you play for the team.
It's so
Him
true.
Jumping out in the crowd and getting rowdy with the people, that is just as cool as it gets. The man, last year, obviously, Travis Kelce hosting SNL, winning the Super Bowl, beating his brother as the year of Travis, and now Travis is dating Taylor Swift. But we got a sneaky comeback player in the year of 2024, and that's Jason Kelce. Man's been called the sexiest man on earth. He's doing a great job on New Heights podcast. They really are. The Kelce brothers are dominating the United States of America landscape right now.
I love it. So we're looking forward to that. Beer chugging with Bussin' with the Boys, guys. Download, subscribe to the podcast, of course. It's all over the place. I imagine you'll be at Super Bowl. Are you bringing the bus?
The bus does not run, but I and myself and Will Compton will be at the Super Bowl from Sunday to Monday, actually.
Okay. We keep losing, Taylor.
Okay. Got a lot of stuff to get done back and forth.
Okay, excited. I'm excited to see you. I think you'll be on our set for a little bit. Before the wild card round, you put out a power rankings with your rooting status for the playoffs. So 3 of the 5 teams you were most excited about are still left in the Niners, the Lions, and the Ravens. One didn't make the cut. No Chiefs. ¿Por qué?
Chiefs had their time, man. I mean, I love it, but like they're so good all the time. It would be cool to see Lamar Jackson get one. It would have been awesome to see the Bills in that thing because we saw what they did way back in like the 90s and stuff like that, going to like 4 of them in a row and never getting it. And then Josh Allen, the year he's had. But I got so many friends at the podcast that come on from the 49ers and guys like George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey, Fred Warner, those dudes. They deserve a Super Bowl. I believe they would have been in the Super Bowl last year if they didn't have the injury to Brock Purdy in the NFC Championship. And so with Deebo being a question mark, if they can just get past this one, they're heavy favorites in this one, but they can just get past it. I think obviously they got a big shot to win it.
We're all eyes, if you're a Chiefs fan and you're into the nitty gritty, as a lot of Chiefs are, they love, goodbye, Taylor. Do we have Taylor? Can he hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All eyes are on Joe Thuney, kind of, because people, if you're a football savant, you know what he brings to that team, of course. And it was reported that he's unlikely to play in the game, which is tough. I want to know what your thoughts are on that. And Jawan Taylor, this is somebody who's had penalty issues week in, week out, like it's death taxes, and Jawan Taylor gets flagged for something. And now that they have Clowney, Van Noy, the Ravens defense, they've got to deal with them. What's your confidence level that this O-line can hold up in this game?
I think the confidence is, I'm not so worried with the O-line because you have Patrick Mahomes and he has the ability to extend plays. Like, you get a guy that's stationary and sits in there. You need that offensive line, but you saw it last week with Pat, the way he was able to maneuver and get around and find those openings in zone coverage against the Bills. It was extremely impressive. This is one that obviously, like the Ravens right now, the way they're playing, the way they came out after having a week bye, is one of those things where it's like who's really going to beat them? And the only team that you're looking at in the AFC that could be that team is the team that's in the AFC Championship every single year. And, this is uncharted waters for Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes has done this over and over and over again. They were actually underdogs last week away, and it sucks to see offensive linemen go down because you need them so bad. But a guy like Pat, who's so special, we're watching like the next generational talent, the guy that we'll be talking about with Tom Brady in a few years. I think that is, I think they got an opportunity. They obviously have an opportunity, but I think it's going to be closer than what the people betting the game feel.
See, I want to say, and this is Patrick Mahomes, I really believe in this Mike McDonald guy. I really think this is going to be a little bit different. I think there's some blitz packages that are going to be dialed up that are going to look real spicy for our guy Patrick Mahomes. As you take a sip of water, and you know better than anyone, because we can go back to 2019. By the way, I blame you for letting this dude start winning. This was like Patrick Mahomes before he won his first Super Bowl. This is 2019 AFC Championship game. He goes off for 4 total touchdowns. So you just know a different level of this guy, is what you're saying.
He's different, and you've seen it since I remember the 4th preseason game, his rookie year. He was playing. No one knew who Patrick Mahomes was, and he was throwing 60-yard bombs. I'm on the sideline with a bag of seeds in my hand, going, "Who is this kid?" It's incredible, and there's so many cool parallels to 2019. Not cool for me, but in the regular season, they were up 10-0 in the game, and when we played them in Nashville, and we ended up winning that game. And then obviously in that, like, what a poor example of tackling by the Tennessee Titans defense there. Just an absolute gutter of a situation. And the thing that pisses me off the most is we literally had the same 40 time, okay? We had the same 40 time coming out. How is he that damn elusive? Yes. It's insane. He just has the ability to move and wiggle. He's got them wide hips, dude. He's got that center of gravity going on. So it's impressive. You can't count him out. And I think The biggest thing is, yes, the Ravens are an incredible team, but there is a formula to beat Lamar, unfortunately, and it's making him go east to west and make him throw the football. With Pat, it's kind of like you plaster guys and keep dudes in coverage and hope to God you get to him with 3 or 4. And so it's very difficult playing Pat. And if you have the right athletes for Kansas City, which they could, you could neutralize Lamar Jackson a little bit more with that running capability.
And they've got Chris Jones to give all the pressure that Lamar will be able to handle. Who's winning this game? You got the Chiefs? No, you got the Ravens, or the Chiefs, or the Ravens.
I got the Chiefs covering, but no, you know what? You got to take the Chiefs right now. We did it a few weeks ago. You think, oh, the Chiefs are going to die, and then they just keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. All right, let's flip over to the NFC. I want to talk about, let's root this in the O-line. Trent Williams still doesn't get talked about enough somehow. Like the best all-around player in the actual NFL. Take a listen to him before the Packers game.
Y'all know what time it is, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It ain't no tomorrow, man. Don't count on tomorrow. Hey, it ain't no secret. If we gonna win, it's gonna be in this group. It's gonna be with us. We the soul, we the engine that make this go. Feel me? We can dominate. 3 steps left. Count this one. 3 steps left to the big goal we want, man. Lock the in. Give it everything, man. Everything you got. Let's go, man. Chris, what's your difference?
What do you think? What a beast.
What a speech. What a speech. What a talent. He is the best. I think, the 49ers are going to win this game. I believe they win this game. They deserve to win this game. They deserve to be in the Super Bowl based on how the last 4 or 5 years have gone for them. But I'm happy for the Lions too. Trent Williams, yeah, you're right. He doesn't get talked about enough. He is such a talent. He is such a guy that we know he's great, but we won't fully understand until he is gone, retired, and has a gold jacket on.
I remember you at some point said, and I don't know if this is off season or there was something that came up this morning. We were talking about this. George Kittle, who you love, friends with, tried to recruit you to come play right tackle for the Niners. Why didn't you have interest in playing opposite that dude?
Couple reasons, Kay. One, there's no way I would be a good right tackle. I'm awful. I'm an awful right tackle. I'm a terrible guard. I would be a horrendous center. I'm literally put on this earth to be a glorified security guard at the left tackle position. That is literally what I was put on this earth to do from a football standpoint. And the other reason is there's no shot my knee would have lasted 18 weeks, walking around with these wobbly, shaky knees. My legs look like prey that you see in National Geographic. Like they're already small and tiny, and I would just get blown out of the water. So he called me, I feel like once a week at some point, just come on, just come play, be right tackle, put the reps in.
Yes.
And it was a hard no every single time.
Do you regret it? Look at where they are right now. Granted, there's two, do you want to deal with Aiden Hutchinson all day? No, but doesn't part of you regret it? Doesn't part of you regret it? Part of me
regrets not being on a football team that's playing in the championship, yeah, but not at right tackle. It's an ego thing. Call it what you want. I was never going to play right tackle. There was a time, my second year, going into my third year, they were talking about drafting somebody first overall and moving me to right. And I remember telling my wife, I was like, if they do that, I will literally ask for a trade and I will hold out the entire year and I will go play for a minimum deal the next year.
I want to see you back on the field. I want to see you on a set. I want to see you doing all your thing. I want to see you beating Jason Kelsey in a beer-chugging contest. I don't know why you don't ever ask me to participate in these things. Taylor Lewan, before you go, Gronk's trying to hit this field goal. Will he make it or will he miss it? So in honor of that, I'm going to ask you some make or miss questions. So you're going to tell me if you're in on this or out on it. Is it a make or a miss? Up first, America's rooting for the Lions to win the Super Bowl. Get rid of this. America's rooting for the Lions to win the Super Bowl. Are you in on that or out on that?
I'm rooting for the Lions because I think it's really cool, but I'm also not rooting for them. I'm rooting for the 49ers, so that's a miss.
Okay, Bill Belichick will be an NFL coach next season. Make or miss?
Make.
Where?
I don't know. Right now, it just seems like Atlanta, but they're also looking at Vrabel.
I feel like you have a coaching meeting in Atlanta with Arthur Blank.
I don't know. I don't know why you would want to go to Atlanta anyway right now. But yes, I think he will be a head coach. He wants to chase down that overall win.
I think he wants to be, but I don't think that's the question. I think he definitely wants to be, but I feel like, the game of musical chairs is over.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I'm going make. Going make.
Dry January, make or miss?
Make, sure. Yeah, you can take a month, do your thing.
Okay.
Absolutely. Make it. Yeah, keep the health in order.
Roquan Smith, the scariest player left in the playoffs. Make or miss?
No, Trent Williams, miss.
Oh, I love it. The Chiefs are a dynasty no matter what happens this weekend. Make or miss?
Miss.
Why?
Because you got to win 3, right? That's like the whole thing about a dynasty. You got to win 3 and then rip it. So it's a miss. They got to make it.
This I know nothing about. Make or miss? Raw milk TikTok is obsessed with it. Raw milk, make or miss?
Don't know what raw milk is. Is it just milk? If it is, sure, make. Milk's good for the body, good for the bones. Let's bring back the
I don't know. I feel like
mustache campaigns.
That was a tough one for you. I feel like you're going to have not vegan Twitter coming after you. Pickleball as a hobby, make or miss?
Make. I think it's storming the nation right now. A bunch of people are loving it. I've never played it once, but it looks like fun.
I played it for the first time yesterday, and as suspected, terrible at it. Kyle Shanahan going to drop the best game plan for the weekend.
Oh, make.
Make. Okay. All right. I love that. Derrick Henry returning to the Titans. Make or miss?
Miss.
Okay. Last one.
Miss.
Gronk will make the kick for the Kick of Destiny 2 in Las Vegas.
You know what? Make, dude. I'm a fan of Gronk. Yeah. Make, baby. Let's get that going.
Let's go. All right, Taylor Lewan, we appreciate you busting with the boys. Everything's buzzing. We're getting ready for Super Bowl. And we, of course, will talk to you down the stretch. We'll see you next week, my friend. And yes, guys, it's make or miss. And we are doing it in honor of Gronk. You guys can pick whether or not he will make or miss it at the Super Bowl. Will he sink a 25-yard field goal live on TV right before the game kicks off? Literally live right before. You at home can pick whether he makes or misses it for a share of $10 million in bonus bets. In Gronk's honor, we're going to hit you with some of these questions and segments with our favorite guests leading up to it. So there we have it, some make or miss action. You pick over at FanDuel Sportsbook. Okay, Clyde Edwards-Helaire joining the program. Darius Butler is on the show. We're going to do a little prop talk with Darius. We're going to have a lot of fun. And he has been nailing who the MVP of these weekends have been. Who does he got for the championship? He'll tell you. I couldn't text you in time, Richard, but anything like that should, of course, be after the game. Just to create, he's, yeah. I think you know what I'm saying. Okay. And so anytime we do that, let's say goodbye to the guest and then tag with the promo. Here's my question. Why not Taylor Lewan be the backup Hamilton to Trent Williams? Does that not sound like a plan?
Maybe he didn't want to come back if he didn't want to start, but that'd be a pretty cushy gig to keep his,
I mean, he was born to be
stay involved.
I don't know that. I don't know.
And there were a few games they could have used him when Trent was hurt, so.
I love that George called him week in, week out. That's funny.
Yeah, that is.
So he picked San Francisco, and then did he end up picking? I don't even know who he picked. He was Chiefs.
He picked the Chiefs. Yeah.
Wow, he had a lot of things to say about Lamar.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of teams have tried to make Lamar throw to beat them this year, and it hasn't gone well for them.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You think that Mike McDonald's got something cooking?
Yeah, I think, the way he draws up these blitzes, you never know who's coming, who's dropping. And when you got an injured lineman in there, it makes it really tough. I mean, he's right about, Mahomes is able to escape pressure better than anybody, but it is going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
So pickleball, how'd that go?
I'm so bad at it. It's so stupid. Of course I'm bad at it, but we basically an hour and a half into this lesson with this obvious pro. There's some guy, and of course I got the whole background. Why is it called pickleball? Why is it called the kitchen? Where did this come? Well, I just talked this poor man's ear off the whole time. You know, who's the Tom Brady of pickleball? His name's Ben Johns. I said that's not a very marketable name. I don't like that. Like, we have to work on this whole thing. And then an hour and a half into the lesson, I just go, how am I doing? And he goes, we just need to get you proficient.
Oh boy,
that was his
that's
line,
not what you want to hear.
It's not what I want to hear, man. It's not what I want to hear. So basically, everybody, I'm playing pickleball with Vernon Davis up against like Saweetie and
Oh boy,
Anthony Anderson. I believe that's the matchup for Super Bowl. So I got to get back in the lab. All right, back on Up and Adams, we've had the lovely Taylor Lewan stop by the show. Strong picks. He's picking the Chiefs, and he's picking the Niners. Oh, I just did that. Here's what I'm doing. And that was a test shot. Well, we can expense the film on this, Marissa's camera. We have been trying to catch people doing good all season long around the league. Every week trying to just donate what we can from FanDuel, of course, as a partner, and from Up and Adams. And this story caught fire on Twitter last week. The Chiefs social team just doing their job, making a TikTok about who would be the best babysitter on the team. And running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire nominated himself. Why? Because he is casually attending and pursuing a degree in nursing. I thought, that's very interesting, knowing a little bit about him and his background. So we got to catch up with Clyde Edwards-Helaire ahead of a huge, huge game against the Ravens in Baltimore. And Clyde, we caught you. Clyde, here we are. You're one game from playing in the Super Bowl, and I don't know if you wanted this to get out or you didn't think it'd be a big deal, but you're back in school for nursing. There is so much to congratulate you on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a wild ride, and everything seems like it's always a whirlwind in my situation, but it seems always to have a fine lining on the back end. So it's smooth. It's smooth for me.
Why nursing?
It's very close to me, and my mom's a nurse, and I feel like that's where it all kind of originated from. Just watching her go through the whole thing, staying up late. I mean, it wasn't like she was able to do it early. She had already had 3 kids, so I was able to kind of watch her go through the whole thing, juggle jobs, trying to put my older brother, my older sister, and I through school, and she was able to do the things that she wanted to do, and she felt nursing was her calling. So just going through her books and everything when I was younger, it just was something that was interesting to me, and science was always something that drew me in. So I say once I kind of got into college and knew what I wanted to pursue, I couldn't initially go into nursing because LSU in New Orleans would have to be the route. So I took the kinesiology science route.
That's so hard. I feel like at those classes I would just not even I would not even look at that part of the book when I was picking my classes.
I mean, it was another reason probably was my little sister. You know, her dealing with muscular dystrophy. Just had things going on in the house that I feel like wasn't going on in a normal household. I mean, I watch her. She was in ICU for right at about 6 to 7 months. So when she was able to finally come home, she was able to come home because my mom was a nurse, and they knew that she was going to be under the care of just being home. She didn't give her doctor didn't give her the longest time to live. She wasn't supposed to live past a year. And I just think the being home and having the care that my mom was able to give her, and just watching that one-on-one and having situations happen, like a couple times she coded and my mom was able to revive her, and just seeing how calm she was, and just knowing that she knew everything that a doctor would know, and she's hands-on. So that was one of those things that was very eye-opening for me, and I knew that's what I wanted to pursue.
I know how your mom inspires you. Tell me how Maddie inspires you.
I would say Maddie is one of those reasons why I get over a lot of humps in my life. Just you know, like I said before, I haven't met anyone stronger in my life. I'll say she reminds me of a cat. Everybody always says cats have 9 lives, and I could attest to it. She's been up and down in a lot of things, and to this day, she still is walking around. She's completing high school. She's doing the things that we as a family and myself, I didn't imagine that she would be doing. To get along alive, but she's striving.
Now, I know your sister has been an amazing ambassador for Muscular Dystrophy Association, attending summer camps, events, raising money, awareness, your mom as well. I know that you are very generous with your time, with your platform, sending autograph stuff whenever needed. And I know that because my sister works for Muscular Dystrophy Association. She even met your mom and your sister at a bunch of these events. So it's really incredible. And MDA, I mean, there are 8 treatments approved in 2023 alone, all trying to empower people to live longer, more independent lives. People like Maddie. It's amazing. I think what you're doing is amazing. You wanting to be a nurse is incredible. So our show is donating $1,000 to MDA in honor of you and Maddie and your mom today.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I'm so excited and thankful that, this is not only the way that we were able to connect through sports. It was, through something that's close to us and close to our hearts. So, on behalf of, I can speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure MDA is more excited and
they're amazing. They're amazing.
It's gonna be something awesome, and I can't wait to keep going and doing the things that we need to do in order to help people and strive for a better life.
Listen, you talked about your journey a little bit, the ups and downs, how you can handle and weather anything, how you're inspired by Maddie in that way, just the way your career's gone in the NFL, and of course, like with the future and what's ahead of you. What is this next? And it's week by week now. What does this next game mean to you? Like, what would a win? What would a playing in a Super Bowl, getting some the opportunities for some 28-yard runs mean to you?
It would mean everything. And it's sending chills down my back now because the Super Bowl that I was actually able to really be a part of, we lost, and I got the opportunity to get activated before the game last year and everything, and I even thought I was going to get the opportunity to play and didn't. So and more than grateful that I was able to become a world champion and be a part of the team. And even that week of practice, I played receiver. I was Devontae Smith on the scout team.
Wow.
And I was ready to. I'm talking to Coach Reed about just going out there if Juju and then Amir end up hurting his hamstring. So I was told, he was able to tell me, look, this will be the game plan. They activated me. I learned all the receiver spots that week, and I was ready to go. So it felt weird just not being able to get my jersey, but it was a bittersweet moment being able to get that ring, knowing that I became a champion on every level in my life in football, and that's something that no one could take away from me. But this next game is something.
We can add one, Clyde.
Yeah, it's like a little mini fire right now, and it's been burning ever since the end of that last season, just to get back to this moment, because I wanted to have a helmet on and pads on for that game. So no matter what, my goal is to win this AFC Championship and hopefully get in that Super Bowl. I
was going to say, I don't know if you're going to like the field in Baltimore as much as you seem to like it in Buffalo. They're pretty tough defense, Clyde.
Oh yeah, most def, and that's what you want, AFC Championship. Who would want something less exciting? This is football. I'm a football fan, so why not have a good defense going up against an offense that's clicking on all cylinders?
Are you and Pacheco having a good time? Sounds like you two just get along really well. He's very lucky to have you as a teammate.
Oh man, that is my. I like to say little brother because he came in after me. He's older than me, so that is my homeboy, road dog brother. That is my boy. So I kind of throw things off of him just being like I'm year 4, so I just feel like I've had a different experience in certain things, and I'm able to kind of tell him certain things, what to look for, what to keep his eyes on the swivel for, and what to prepare for. And he's absorbing everything like a sponge, and it's obvious. He's almost had a 1,000-yard season here, and he's just going to continue to grow, and that's what I love about Tien.
But why is he so angry all the time? He runs so mad. He's so angry.
He runs so angry, and he's probably one of the happiest guys on earth. But I can say everybody has that internal fire, and I know his sister is one of those things for him. And we talked about it before, and it's just something that he knows. Every time he gets an opportunity to go out there, she's watching him, and he has to put on the show for her, so he goes out there and does it.
I mean, you guys have that in common. Brothers will be brothers.
What an insanely great teammate, first of all, him and Pacheco. Secondly, how he handles adversity. Thirdly, how he is handling nursing school and still wanting to be a champion on every level. He is a champion, but he wants to really earn this one. He was so honest, like how eloquently he put that it's bittersweet that he has the championship. Like, I didn't know that story about him working on scout team either that week, ready to go in, wanting to go in, being active, having it taken away from him. I don't know what the future holds. I asked him a little bit about it off camera. He, of course, wants to be a chief. He's focused on what he's doing right now. We don't know if he's going to stay on this team. We don't know how it's going to go. He's living in the moment right now. And I talked just yesterday about Isaiah Pacheco, 3 yards away from Marcus Allen and the Chiefs' all-time playoff rushing record. He's dealing with a toe injury. No one seems concerned about whether or not he'll be available for Sunday's action. He'll probably play through it. I'm sure he will. But I do wonder, and we did see that 28-yard run when he came in when Pacheco was dinged up last game and he was shot out of a cannon, like I said. Does this mean that we'll see Clyde maybe get a few more opportunities out there for himself, for his family, like he was saying, for his Chiefs family, for his own, I got drafted highly, I want this? He's impossible not to root for. And I'll say it again, if there's one area this #1 Ravens defense is not ranked inside the top 10, it's their run defense. They're 14th there. Pacheco, Clyde can make a huge difference in this one. Darius Butler's in the house. He joins us. The mayor of Shutdown City is here. Make way for championship weekend. After this, no one is on TV more than Darius Butler. Nobody. Great. Okay. Darius Butler. Okay, let's do this. I think we're getting, here's some news for you YouTube viewers. I think John Cena is coming on our show. I think, and he played, by the way, he was center. He was a center.
Center?
He was a football center.
Wow.
D3.
I wonder if he could be in the beer chugging thing.
He definitely
absolutely.
could.
He was a center.
Wrestlers could drink.
Where did he go to college? Mass? Something in Mass?
It is.
I'm fascinated by this.
Springfield College in Massachusetts.
Springfield College, a center.
Center.
We got to talk to him about it.
We got some inside.
I think he's coming on the show. Is he going to be? Is it for tomorrow?
It's for tomorrow.
Oh, John Cena on the show tomorrow. That's wild.
Love John.
I have to watch interviews with him. What is the?
I watched a whole 2-hour interview with him and Logan Paul last night. He's the most empathetic, cool, gracious dude ever. He's the best. I became a huge fan.
Really?
Yes. I did not expect it.
And it just took 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
I love it.
Crushed it.
Don't stand in the way, I told her to move. Ain't nobody safe when I'm in a room. Move. Somebody stop me, I'm on the groove. Move, stop me, I gotta drive and I gotta choose. Move.
Thursday, can't finish the show without checking with our good friend for his weekly visit. 9-year NFL veteran hosts the Man-to-Man podcast. No one is on television more than Darius Butler. Hey, D-Butt.
Good morning, Kay. How you doing? Championship weekend. Almost.
Listen, we got our countdown to taking tequila shots, right?
It's too damn early over there. We're on the West Coast again. Come on, Kay.
Am I going to see you? Am I going to see you that week? Are you going to be there? Are you around?
Oh yeah, of course. That's the end of it all. It's the culmination of this great NFL season. Of course, I'll be there.
Where will the McAfee show be? Where will the McAfee show be broadcasting from?
Oh, what is it called? Media Row now? Radio Row?
Nice.
It'll be right there, front and center.
I love it. I cannot wait for that. Championship round is here. You and I are just so close to finding out who those two teams are. Let's start out west. Lions, Niners. We don't know that Deebo Samuel is going to play. I have not spoken to him. He's got that bit of a shoulder thing that freaked everybody out. If Deebo can't,
you're supposed to be the insider here.
I'm not. That's not. I do not want that job. I do not need that job. I am good as it is. I just want to be a fan and watch how it goes down. But if he doesn't play or is limited in some way, how much does that change the Niners' offense and the outcome of this game for you?
Changed it a lot. I actually got a chance to talk to George on Pat's show earlier this week and asked him kind of about the game plan and what happened last week and struggled a little bit slow in the second half. In the first half, he said Deebo was a big part of the game plan. He said coming into the game, he expected him to have 3 touchdowns himself, and they obviously had to adjust. So now at least going into the game, knowing he's a little banged up, Kyle Shanahan will have a different game plan. But you still got Kittle. You still got Brandon Ayuk. You still got Jennings, Juice. You still got Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. So whatever defense they'll be playing, obviously the Lions this week, they'll have their hands full with those guys. And Brock Purdy, he's the trigger man. He can call the shots. He can figure it out. But Deebo is obviously a huge weapon, one of the best weapons in the league. And what they do, switching McCaffrey and Deebo, kind of alternating where they lined up is a big deal. So obviously him being out would be a big deal going into this one. But you better jump on that Lions +7.
Okay, jump on the Lions +7. I just listen to everything Darius says because he's never really. You have not been wrong. You're on quite a heater. You really are. The Niners offense. You're doing well. The Niners offense, obviously, with or without Deebo, I think they're difficult to defend. We're giving them all their love. Kyle Shanahan will be brilliant in play a game planning and all of that. Who is it on the Lions defense that you think is going to have a huge impact and needs to step up? Obviously, Aiden, but anybody else?
Yeah, obviously it starts with Hutch up front, but then Brian Branch, the rookie, another great draft pick from the MCDC, Dan Campbell and his defense, had a big-time blitz. They do a lot of Aaron Glenn's defense. They do a lot of different blitzing from that secondary. He's going to be involved in the run game. He's going to be involved, obviously, in the pass game, coverage-wise, and getting after the quarterback. So I think Brian Branch has to have a big impact on this game. CJ, he's been here before. He's been on this stage before. All he does is kind of make plays. He's going to be around the ball. Even if he's 6, he's a valuable piece in that secondary as well. That's kind of where the Lions can be exposed. All the quarterbacks that they face have put up big numbers, big yards, but they can make big splash plays when it counts. But, Brock Purdy can throw the ball around, obviously, and that's where they can be exposed. Got a great run defense, though, so hopefully they can make this 49ers offense one-dimensional.
Jordan Love's great. Is he that great that he just overcame how good the Niners defense is? Because Jared Goff coming to San Francisco, he had an incredible divisional round performance. Yep. Any concerns on the Niners defense?
You know, down the field, I think they can be had. They have a very, very, very good, very deep front. Obviously, we know their backers. Greenlaw coming off his 2-interception game, and we know who Fred Warner is. So that two-headed monster at the linebacker position. You know, on the other side in the AFC with Queen and Roquan Smith, those are kind of like the best two off-ball backer groups in the league. But in the secondary, they can be had. You know, that's where their weakness is right now down the field. And you know, the Lions have weapons. You know, they got J-Mo with the speed. They got Reynolds who can show up. Obviously, Laporta. And then St. Brown is one of the best wide receivers in the entire National Football League. So the 49ers can be had down the field when it comes to throwing the ball down the field against them. That's their only, I think, weakness. They kind of can be exposed at championship weekend.
What do the Chiefs and Ravens come down to for you?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. I can't wait for this game. You know, I picked the Ravens right here on this show to start the season, to go and win it all. I just felt like it was going to be Lamar's year. I feel like he's the MVP. He'll be a two-time MVP at, 27, 28 years old. But they just have such a young core, so dynamic on both sides of the ball, so sound. You know, obviously, Jim Harbaugh just took the job in L.A., but John Harbaugh, that Michigan team and this Ravens team are so similar as far as how sound, how disciplined they are on both sides of the ball. And then obviously Lamar, he turns it up on the ground in the playoffs, averaging over 90 yards a game on the ground when it comes to running that ball. He becomes a cheat code, especially once you get in that red area. And then we know who Patrick Mahomes is, right? 6 years, 6 AFC championships, already kind of on that Mount Rushmore when it comes to quarterback at this young part of his career. So I think this is going to be an all-time, battle that comes down to that last drive.
Last drive. Who you got? We got a minute left in the show. I don't know if they're telling you that in your ear.
I got nothing in my ear right now, but I got to go with the Ravens. I picked them. I got to keep that conviction. It's tough. It's almost insane to pick against Patrick Mahomes at this point, but Lamar, I feel like it's his year. And that defense, the Ravens defense, the best hands down in the league. I don't think it's close when it comes to how they tie pressures and their coverages in. Kyle Hamilton, I think he'll have a big impact on this game.
But who's going to have I'm sorry, we only have 20 seconds. I wish I could tell you this without telling you this on the air, but we'll figure out a way for next time. I asked you who's going to be the MVP of each week, and we have like 20 seconds left, 10 seconds. You had Stroud, you had Jahmyr Gibbs. Who's it this week?
Kyle Hamilton, Baltimore Ravens, MVP, first team All-Pro. Let's go.
Thanks, Darius. You're the best.